I'm just running a few minutes behind. I was still shuffling cards. So, I haven't got my jewelry on yet. Not all of it anyway. Um, so yeah, today's going to be another collective reading. As usual, I forgot to plug my shit in too. So, Mercury retrograde at its finest, right? And now my dog wants out. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip forward until you see me actually doing the reading. I'll be right back. Let me let this dog out. Go on. You coming in, Lucy? Come on. You coming inside? I'm going to shut the door. All right. Loki can't make up his damn mind. Hi, Holly. It's good. Mercury retrograde things, you know. Um, didn't even make sure that my hair was all situated or whatnot, so I'm still shuffling cards. And I was like trying to be ahead of time today, but just everything has kind of dragged me a little further back, so that's okay. We already know what to expect when Mercury is in the microwave. Lessons. That came out. Projection. Ooh, this is probably going to be a juicy one. We'll see. These are the last. This is the last deck that I'm going to shuffle. I've got everything else done, but I didn't want to keep you waiting, so figured I can just shuffle while people shuffle in. That's fine too. Oh, how was your 4th, Holly? We had a fireworks ban on personal fireworks, thankfully. And actually, the people in our town were really respectful, and nobody did their own fireworks. So they still did the town fireworks show. It lasts like 45 minutes. Um, but yeah, not too much going on. But there was a neighbor dog that was terrified. I don't know why it was outside when fireworks show was going to be going on, but it was, and it ran down the highway, and my neighbor and I were trying to find it while the fireworks show was happening. We didn't find it. I think it went around, like, through, like, the brush and a property line to get back over towards where it lives, where I believe it lives, because I don't know for sure. But there was also a sheriff in a pickup truck sitting, like, because the way where I live, it's right off the highway, and like it's a spot where the cops like to sit to make sure people aren't speeding through town because it's a speed limit change. Um, so they sit there often just to keep people from speeding right next to all the houses right here on the side of the highway. Um, so that cop was just sitting in his truck. Sheriff, hi Eduardo, thanks for joining us. Um, and like didn't do anything. And my neighbor and I like went walking down the shoulder of the highway trying to see if we could find this dog because he had grabbed a leash. We didn't see it. So then like the cop ended up like driving down to see if they could find the animal, and they couldn't. So hopefully that dog found its way home. I did place protections around the dog and calm energy and all the things. So hopefully it was a good outcome. I haven't heard anything negative about it. So let's just hope that that all went well. Same as every other day, our neighbor was lighting off fireworks. Really? Did you have a fireworks ban where you're at, Holly? Also, anyone new watching over from YouTube, like Eduardo over there, I do stream this not only to YouTube but to Facebook as well via streaming service. So I'm going to be talking to people in the comments that you're not going to be seeing the comments, and you're probably going to be like, what the hell, who's she talking to? It's because I'm streaming to multiple platforms simultaneously. So, yeah, I may talk to the voices in my head, but I'm not schizo, so bear with us. I'll try to address and read comments out loud so that both platforms, like wherever you're watching from, you can be kind of in the loop on what's being discussed. So, again, collective reading, if you want to stick around and find out what's going on in the collective, it also trickles down to your personal experience so you can translate whatever the reading says to your own experience. And I will give some examples of both collective and personal experience. They're illegal there, but people do it anyway. Lovely. Oh, my Aunt Pam reacted to my live. I wonder if she's in here or if she was just cruising by and saw me. My Aunt Pammy. Whammy Pammy. If you guys see Whammy Pammy in here, that's my auntie. She's one of my favorites. Whenever I was little, like a little kid, we used to go yard selling. Like my grandparents would take us yard selling every Friday and Saturday. Um, so and then they would give us like $1 to go buy whatever we wanted. And I got this little monkey. It's the most adorable little monkey, like knickknack, little porcelain. Super old too. I don't know, like probably 1900s, somewhere in there, but like early 1900s. And I gave it to her as a gift. And every time I see her, she brings up that monkey. Every time I've gone to her house as an adult, she's tried to give me the monkey back. And I'm like, no, you keep it. Like it's my souvenir that I can see whenever I come to visit you. But she calls it her Kipper monkey because one of my family nicknames is Kipper or Kippy. So she calls it her Kipper monkey, and she keeps it on her shelf just for me. Hello, Catherine. How are you? So good to see you, dear. So yeah, I was expecting like nobody in my town to abide by the no personal fireworks ban because Colorado's on fire. Um, Luckily, this year it's not in our neck of the woods. We had that whole evacuation and fire threat to our community last year. I'm not trying to have a rerun of that. So I am so thankful that people actually listened in our area because, like, in places that are actually on fire, like Pueblo, like Colorado Springs and the Denver area, they're not really on fire in Denver, but it's close enough, right? People, they had a fireworks ban there, and people were still popping them off, like nothing, like everything's burning around you. Our forests are burning. What the hell is wrong with you? Thank you, Carter. I know that it's my stimming partner, so you know I appreciate the heads up. But yes, I know, vaping is not good for me. I appreciate you. Hello, Suzanne. How are you, darling? Again, if you are just tuning in for the first time on YouTube and you see me talking to people in the comments and you're not seeing the comments, oh, we don't like um, evangelists. So bye, Carter. Get your ass out of here. Go mind your business somewhere fucking else. Wow, wow, wow. But amen. Have the day you deserve. Okay. New subscriber. Thank you. You subscribed to me after I blocked you. We don't bring any of that Jesus sales evangelism over here. So if you did not mean that, then I apologize for the ban, but this is a one and done over here. So you can follow me, you can take what you want from the reading, but you will not be able to comment because we don't do that shit over here. With the Christian cult and so forth. You're free to feel how you feel and believe how you believe, but you are not free to push that on anyone else, especially in this community. You will be banned. So you can go ahead and subscribe. You can take whatever resonates for you, but we're not gonna go into the whole culty type of bullshit. I'm good, exhausted, but happy to be here. My neighborhood set off way too many fireworks. I am not a fan. Girl, I feel you on that one. I am so sorry. Um, a lot of people really don't enjoy it, especially those of us who are super sensitive, and it's meant to mimic war, um, desensitize people to explosions and all of the things. Um, so yeah, I'm not a fan either. They look cool, and yes, I did go and watch the fireworks show that the town put on, but I can see it from my house, so we didn't leave the house. We didn't do any of that celebration stuff, um, and we were looking out for the animals. So the kids and I had a chill evening, and yeah, thank you guys for all of the likes and seeing those jump on. Not seeing a whole lot of people showing up on Restream, like the little number tracker. So we'll just go ahead and get started. We'll get into it. Um, it's all made of toxic metals. Yeah, yeah. And has anyone seen anything about like DC last night was supposed to set off like 850,000 fireworks when they normally do 20,000, and they were warned about the air quality if they were to do that many, and they were all warned. Everybody knew. They went ahead and did it anyway, and now DC is under a severe uh, warning for like the air quality. So they're in purple right now, which is not just those in who are sensitive to things like medically sensitive to air quality, but everyone. So yeah, I feel for everyone in that area, and it's not just DC. It's like obviously we have wind and weather, so it's a lot more than just the DC area. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. And whoever files in a little bit late, they can just play catch up. Um, so, okay. Narratives on the bottom of the deck. Oh, I enjoy a large professional display, but people can buy those mortars here, so the neighbors each were exploding those types. That really sucks. They usually do that here too, but thankfully we had a ban and everyone here took it seriously because of our whole town having to be evacuated last year, and the rest of our state being on fire. So thank goodness that they were respectful. But it yeah, I had to drive down there. I forgot I needed some maseca, some masa from the store because I didn't realize I was out. I forgot that I was running low, and I wanted to make some pupusas last night. And before everything, like before the stores were supposed to close, I was like, dang it. So I ran to go see if the stores were open. Only Family Dollar was open. They don't sell maseca. So I went home empty-handed, but just trying to get to the store, it was insane. There was traffic like crazy. There were people, like families and drunk people, walking all through the streets and holding up traffic, and people who were driving didn't know how to drive in that. So I was like, get me home right now, never leaving the house again today. So it was a shit show. I always pull all the animals in a bubble while they shoot those things off. Yes, Suzanne, that's that protective energy coming out. I love it. I was doing the same thing because they set our fireworks show is right over the river. Like there's a cliff, like there's a hill type area that has a cliff drop off down to the river, and they shoot them off of that cliff, like, and it just cascades all over the river. So I was protecting all the river creatures and plants and everything. Yeah, it sucks. It's cool to look at, but come on. Our environment, our animals are worth way more than that. So narratives, keep your thoughts in alignment of your goals. Okay. We have that one right behind it. We have Dark Night of the Soul, and that's spiritual depression. So if you are navigating some darkness right now, and darkness can be anything, right? It can be your inner shadows, it can be your fears, it can be projection. That card did come out while I was shuffling on camera. Um, so it could be your own projections or even other people projecting their shit onto you. We've got some planetary alignments happening right now. outside of Mercury retrograding in Cancer, y'all. So it's not just because Cancer is the sign of home, family, and all the things does not mean that it's going to be pleasant. Mercury retrograde comes back around to address things that need addressed, things that are still in your energy. So if you have wounding surrounding family, people that are close to you, like friends, soul family type, if you have anything like with your finances, your sense of safety and security, that is going to be re-triggered at this time. So yes, there can be other things that happen that are very pleasant, pleasant things coming back around for you. Mercury retrogrades aren't all doom and gloom. That's all, not all negative. We've talked about this like every Mercury retrograde since we've been, doing this together on the lives. Um, that it's necessary for your growth, for your healing, but it's not always going to be comfortable. So there are themes that are tied to family and stuff like that. Like I told you guys last week, my family members, my grandparents, and I know that my mother assisted them because they don't know how to do Amazon. But I had a package show up for my oldest son, and the twins' birthday was on Monday, okay, this past Monday. So last weekend I told you guys about how Lucian got a gift, and his birthday is in 2 months. The twins' birthday was the upcoming birthday. But the twins did end up getting a gift on Monday. Actually, it came from Amazon. So they did end up getting a gift, but I know that the person who chose it and sent it was my mother, by proxy for my grandparents. So I was a little annoyed with that because my grandparents disowned me a couple of years back, and or a year, just over a year, whenever it was. So like, what are you even doing? It's just why? Oh, Mercury, that's why. So things like that could be coming back around. Yes, I was annoyed. I was triggered in that way where it was just annoying. Like, leave me the fuck alone already. We've gone no contact. You guys are the ones who initiated the no contact. I'm fine with it. So just leave us the hell alone. But I let my kids have the gift. I'm not going to keep, I'm not going to deny their joy. They had a gift sent to them. It was addressed to them. I'm not going to intervene on that. Like, the more the merrier, right? So all in all, it was actually positive for me. No, I did not reach out to try to reconnect or anything like that. I'm leaving it alone. But I will not deny my children the um, the receipt of those gifts or that love. I told them who sent the gifts and everything like that, so my kids are aware. They were, grateful for the gifts, but they don't know my family. They don't know these people. They haven't been involved with them in years. So, you know, just things like that. It could, like, it didn't send me into a spiral. It didn't really, like, oh, cut me deep like a sword. It didn't hurt my feelings. I was just kind of like, really? So it doesn't have to be something that's going to deeply trigger you to where you have this huge emotional reaction. It could be just something like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, this is the theme, this is coming back around again. Okay, I see it, I accept it. I ain't even mad though. Annoyed, yes, because I like my peace, but not even mad. So keep, like with that, I could have flipped that into a different narrative where it was like, oh, they're just trying to provoke me. They're trying to get under my skin. They're trying to hurt me by, interacting in this way when they've already cut me off. They've already, excommunicated me from the family, so to speak. But I didn't take it that way because I'm not going to let that ruin my day. And for something like that, it could be seen as something generous, like an olive branch, so to speak. I'm not mad. I'm unbothered. I'm not going to respond, but I'm going to allow my kids to accept that joy. So that could have sent me back into this whole depression about, oh, my family has never loved me, has never accepted me. They think X, Y, Z, whatever. I could have gone that route, but is it worth it? Absolutely not. And had I not done the healing that I've done, perhaps I would have been triggered in such a way, but I wasn't. I wasn't bothered. It didn't affect me emotionally except for like, really? Come on. you know? Um, so just just know that anything that's coming around right now to trigger you or to that's annoying you, getting under your skin, like a repeat of past patterns, things like that coming up for you, it's not meant to destroy you. It's not meant to, make you crumble. It's meant to be addressed, be made consciously aware of, and then move forward if you can. And if you can't so easily get through that, if you are deeply triggered, more deeply triggered than what I just described about myself, then that just means that you have some healing work to do. That just means you need to sit with yourself. Maybe love yourself a little extra, support yourself a little extra. Lean on others who also support you in your current life, in your current, you know, surroundings, people that are close to you, people that are friends, people that you would call soul tribe. Um, hey, Bronson, long time no see. How's everything going where you're at? You still in Colorado? Just acknowledged it and let it pass. Way to go. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, I acknowledge it. And, I've been so triggered before. I've had so much trauma, so many people traumatized me that I had to heal from through no fault of my own, and probably some through being completely my fault. I'm not going to take no fault in this, because we can traumatize ourselves, right? We're healed enough to admit that we can traumatize ourselves. We're not perfect. We can fuck up sometimes. So it's if you live outside of Glenwood at Sunlight Mountain Resort. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hope you're staying safe with all those fires. I was just talking about Meeker not being not like we've been under fire restriction, right? We had a fireworks restriction, and I was expecting people to just get drunk and set off fireworks and not even heed the fireworks warnings, but I didn't hear any fireworks outside of the show that the town put on last night. So I'm actually really proud of the people in my town right now. I hope the same for you. I hope that people were respectful of fireworks bans that are in place. And I haven't heard of any new fires started by fireworks, so thank the goddess. Let's just take that as a win, right? Um, so again, if you have things that are coming back around, situations, people, memories, anything that's triggering you on a level where it's impacting your mood, the way you function throughout your day, if it hurts you, if it triggers you in any way, it's time to really sit with yourself, ask yourself, go into meditation, ask your higher self, why am I so triggered by this? What is it that I can bring into my awareness? What perspective can I shift to, or how can I broaden my own perspective to understand why this is triggering me, what I can do to help myself heal from this? And then just love yourself up extra right now, okay? Shit's gonna go haywire. That's the theme of Mercury retrograde. Hello, Kara. Perfectly imperfect is processing the wounds so the triggers are less impactful each time they come back up. I couldn't have said it better myself, Catherine. I love that. I'm going to put that up there. The smoke has been very dense. Yeah, for us too. We are at a stage 2 restriction. People have been very respectful of the fire danger. I love that. I love that. I love that. I would expect that from the Glenwood area. So I'm really glad. It seems the further east you get, though, from there, the least respectful people are of things like that. So I'm just glad that we're all safe, that we're doing our part to minimize the destruction. So, oh, and as I said, that greed is on the bottom of the deck. Those greedy ass people not paying attention or respecting the fire restrictions, the fireworks bans, and so forth. Y'all are the problem. It's your greed. Just glad that everyone was able to be respectful in our areas. My kids are yelling at each other to let the dog in, so if you guys hear that, sorry. It's Lucia. It's my Leo. My Leo is screaming. All right. So, um, flip the narrative. Flip the narrative on its head. It's up to you. We cannot help being triggered a lot of the time, right? Especially whenever it's something that's a deep wound. We can't help but be triggered and get into our emotions and get out of balance, right? But once we've done so much healing work, once we've worked on ourselves, once we have, taken accountability or brought in balance and understanding and acknowledged that, yes, that was something that deeply traumatized me. And those of you who are new here, I have experienced trauma since day one. Some of the worst trauma. I said some of it. I'm not claiming to be like queen of trauma. I'm not, nothing like that. That's not me, okay? But I have experienced tremendous hardship throughout my life since day one. So I am not at all diminishing trauma here. Trauma is a very real thing, and you are where you are with it, right? There's no, oh, just, you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, put on your big girl panties, and keep moving forward and act unbothered. That's not addressing the trauma. You will be triggered. You will project onto others. You will continue to spiral every time something goes awry, or every time your PTSD is triggered even. So there's a really delicate balance that you have to really work into before you can become more unbothered by the happenings around you, by the things that maybe would have triggered you a lot deeper in the past, but in your present you've come to a point where you've healed enough that they don't impact you that much. But you may still be triggered in some way, like annoyed, like I was. I had to look at myself. I had to look at mother wounds. I had to replay, you know, scenarios and words from my family members that contributed to my accepting of the going no contact to begin with. So I completely understand if you are still, in a heap of tears over your trauma and you're still really in the thick of PTSD or anything like that. I am not saying just, pack it in. It's time to get over that. Absolutely not. You really need to work through that. And if you can't do it on your own, you definitely need to find some support outside of you, whether that's a therapist or, anyone that helps you feel supported as you navigate through these really difficult emotions. So, again, if you can, flip that fucking narrative, okay? Instead of me being triggered into anger and all of that, I chose, like, oh, okay. Um, and then I just kind of moved on with my life. I've had dreams recently where my ex, who abused myself and all of my children in different ways, um, I have ex dreams in Mercury retrogrades because that motherfucker's blocked. That motherfucker can't find me. Like, I'm in hiding from that motherfucker. So, like, not really. I kind of blast where I'm living at, not like the exact location or anything like that. I do that on here with the Soul Tribe. Like, I'm not afraid of this person. But yeah, still just flying below the radar with regard to that. But I had a dream a few nights ago where that person was in my dream and I was feeling really unsafe. I was at the house of someone who should have made me feel safe and protected. It was actually like it's, I brought up to you guys last week on the podcast. It was that cop. If you know, you know. The cop that I talked about last week. It was at that person's house. And funny how I brought it up last week and then I dreamt about him later on in the week. But yeah, so it's someone who I have leaned on for support, for feeling safe in the past. And then they like it had invited my ex to their house and knew like had invited me over too, and like my ex was already there, and then I came and I was kind of bombarded with my ex's presence and I was feeling unsafe and I was freaking out in the dream. I woke up from that and it was rough because in that dream I was on a timeline where my twins had been unalived by my ex and he didn't get um, held accountable for that, so he was just free as a bird. And then this person, knowing that he had done that, had invited us to the same area. So anyway, that was me processing some subconscious shit tied to that situation, right? So I had to go through my own sifting and sorting that day, and I relied on a friend that I trust to support me and to just kind of listen and be that supportive presence for me. So whatever you need to do to work through things that are triggering you right now and for the next several weeks, do what you can to remain balanced, okay? Because on this card, on that narrative card, we have the yin and the yang, the light with the dark and the dark and the light, right? It's that balance. So remaining balanced or getting back into balance as best you can is going to be the way that you can more easily navigate this period of transformation, because every Mercury retrograde is transformation. We have the Five of Wands showing up in the reverse. Now, Five of Wands talks about conflict, competition. It can also be like practicing for something that's to come. With this being in the reverse in this spread, I very much am getting that, yes, conflict is coming to a head, but this conflict, like it would be conflict in the upright, right? But this is in the reverse. This is conflict that completely fucking just, flips tables, really. It's things that are coming to light that people are in conflict over. Like, I don't know if any of you know that they've been holding hearings for the now that I'm doing this, my brain is kind of out the window. The yep, it'll come to me in a minute. Government program, mind control, manipulation. Like, I know you guys know the answer. Can someone give it to me in the comments? Because for some reason the label escapes me right now. It's like right on the tip of my brain. It's coming, you guys. Crikey. Any other day or time of the day, I would know this. MK Ultra. Thank you, Catherine. Yes, MK Ultra. I'm like, ugh. Yes, CIA and MK Ultra. They're having hearings right now about this. They're bringing like what information was not burned, that was just kind of found. Like these things always have a way of coming to the surface. The truth comes to light. The information comes out. So yes, they ordered it all to be burned, years and years ago, but some miraculous thing took place where there was a few boxes that weren't included in the bonfire. So these boxes had tons of information in them dating back to the beginning of the MK Ultra program. So things like that, where people are like, they don't want a lot of this out, but it's getting released. It's getting uncovered. It's, people are fighting about this. They're having hearings about it. And some people are like, no, let's sidebar and talk about this in a more secure environment out of the public eye. And then they're like, no, like, this needs to be out in the open. Our government can't do this shit, not only to its own citizens, but people abroad, everywhere, all over this earth plane, okay? So that is something big that's happening right now as an example. In your own personal life, this could be, things coming to light about people that you knew and thought you knew and trusted, not being really on your side, or just being one of the people that is sending you evil eye without your knowledge. What's the plot? I'm sorry, Michael. I'm in the channel. I'm going really fast. If you could be a little bit more specific with your question, then I would be more than happy to answer it. If you are just, what did I miss? This is a reading. This is a collective reading. We're talking about things that are happening collectively that are impacting us, and you can also take what resonates for it, because the collective energy that's affecting us all also definitely trickles down to our own personal experiences. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please stick around. If not, then thank you for stopping by. So all of these things that are coming to light, like I hate racism. Like, I hate it. I hate hatred. I hate it. Okay. Hi, Ben. Um, so all of these things are surfacing right now. It's really ugly. It's hard for people like those of us who are very sensitive. It's hard for us to see this still being a theme, like in the great year of 2026. This kind of what's the story about live today? Just go ahead and keep watching. You'll kind of get your bearings here, hun. I'm in the middle of my brain. I'm trying to do this. It's a psychic reading, so I'm tapping into my psychic senses here. Whenever I have to bring the left brain into it to actually like, have conversations, it throws me off. So I'm not going to be able to address your question fully. If you want to just kind of sit and watch and take what you will from it, feel free. Um, so a lot of things that are coming up that are surfacing, starting conflicts. Like DC yesterday, there was hundreds of white supremacists that stormed the Capitol that were marching for white people's rights, apparently, with swamp ass, mind you. They were wearing khaki pants, and you could totally see the swamp ass all up in there. Anyway, all of this hatred, all of this ugliness is surfacing right now, causing a lot of conflict, right? And this is like the table flipping conflict. It's triggering people very deeply. This is ancestral wounds being triggered and brought to the surface so that we can process through all of this shit, right? And there are those of us who are here who are deeply sensitive, who are feeling everything and are so impacted. I'll be the first to admit I'm one of them. Like, I'm crying every day over the things that I'm seeing playing out across this earth plane at this time. So, um, conflict on conflict on conflict. We don't even need to bring up the fact that there's multiple wars and G sides happening right now. We miss you too, Ben. So all of this ugliness is rearing its ugly head. Like we've talked about before, the light has won. We're shifting into a higher frequency. We're shifting out of that old earth paradigm into the new earth paradigm. So with that comes, there's so much solar activity. We're having X-class flares. We're having so many solar events, and that is directly translating to tectonic plate shifts with the earthquakes in Venezuela. We had two massive earthquakes back to back within minutes of each other, and they're still trying to dig people out of the rubble over there. There are volcanoes erupting that have been dormant for thousands of years that are starting to really awaken at this time. There are things about Gaia that are shifting that have to shift and change. There's energy being held within Gaia at this time that needs to, be relieved. It's like she's farting, you guys. If you get an earthquake, no big deal. It's just Gaia farting, okay? We have to release this built up tension that Gaia has been storing. And with the sun doing its thing, the thing that it's doing right now with all of this activity and all of these flares and geomagnetic storms, it Gaia and the sun have a symbiotic relationship, okay? So one is not going to be unaffected by the other. Both, one does something, the other is going to be impacted, and vice versa. So they're kind of feeding into each other right now. Things are really ramping up. You see this, like we've talked about for the last couple of years now, you guys. I have talked about people's, mental imbalances surfacing. The people that haven't done as much work on themselves or any at all, they're really showing their asses. There were 6 mass shootings in the United States just yesterday alone, okay? This stuff isn't normal, and we shouldn't normalize it either. So you're going to see mental imbalances, mental unhealth surfacing, okay? You're going to see a lot of the toxic masculine and toxic feminine, okay? But that's kind of more in response to the toxic masculine. We can get into that later on. Just like the other day, I think it was in Florida. Correct me if I'm wrong, Suzanne, where the woman there was an argument over a parking space, and there was this white Army veteran and this black woman that were involved, and he kept coming towards her. She pulled out a pew pew, and she was on the phone with 911, and she was like, he won't stop, you know, coming towards me. I've told him leave me alone. I've told him back away. I have my pew pew. Like, he is still coming at me. Like, hurry up and get here. And he kept advancing, and she ended up pew pewing him, and he was unalived as a result. Like, she warned you, okay? She warned you. You don't need more than one warning to back away, especially if someone is wielding some kind of protective object, okay? You should know better, but it's this toxic masculine that seeks to dominate feminine in every instance possible, because that's what makes them feel like a man. That's what makes them feel like they're in control. And this kind of shit taking place, women, really watch yourselves right now. Really, you know, protect yourself. Get yourself a keychain, pepper spray or mace or whatever, bear spray. You know, keep it in your car, keep it in your bag if you've got a big purse. Like, keep yourself protected. Because you're seeing more of that toxic masculine surfacing. It's coming out. It's just spewing everywhere. Because on their way out, as we're shifting into this higher frequency, and thank you to the sun is doing its thing. It's emitting light frequencies towards us. We are, you know, we're moving through those. We're navigating through those. And there are those who, you guys have seen it in real time in within the spiritual community. Whenever there's some kind of a jealousy, or someone thinks that this practitioner or this creator or this whoever doesn't know what they're talking about or shouldn't be talking about things like that, they're going to go ahead and attack them. They're going to troll them. They're going to, you know, come at them in some way. So you're seeing a lot more of this right now, and it's not by accident. The feminine, the divine feminine, must stand her ground. The divine feminine is surfacing, and that means not your gender, okay? The divine feminine is an energy. If you go bear spray, I recommend the gel form. The spray is strong, and you may inadvertently spray yourself. Thank you, Bronson. I love that. So yes, gel form. It was North Lauderdale, Florida. It was Old Navy Army veteran. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, there's a few states that are really, that things like this are happening more. You know, I've just, in my own observations, like, Florida is usually, it's one of the usual suspects. Suzanne, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you can own that. But it seems like there's a lot of just wonky things that come out of Florida. But Ohio has been one of the front runners lately that I've noticed. Like, Ohio has been really big, with just, you know, the 16 children that were found and rescued from that god awful situation where there was grandparents. It was a husband and wife, and then their son and his wife, and it's supposedly the wife's kids. I don't feel like all of them are her biological children. I feel like it's much deeper than that. But all of these kinds of things are surfacing right now, you guys. So brace yourselves. If you are super sensitive and that kind of thing really, you know, impacts you on a really deep level, then, you know, just kind of, if you need to see it, if you need to stay abreast and everything, go ahead. But, you know, try to shield yourself as much as possible, because there are completely atrocious things that are coming to light right now, and it's going to be really hard to look at. For me, it's hard to look away from, but it is so hard to look at too. So I've been like I said, I've been crying like every day. Yeah, sometime we'll have to meet up, Bronson. So again, table flipping shit. Like, this kind of conflict is gonna make you want to flip tables. Like, with me, I've really had to calm myself down, because that masculine side of me, which I'm usually more masculine presenting, just because I've had to be my entire life, you know, is like, crush them, you know. But the other side of me is like, this needs to happen so that people can see it, so that, you know, it's not in the shadows anymore, so that they can become aware of it, and we can make choices moving forward. You too, Kara. It is wild there. Yes, ma'am. Uh, that one made you cry this week? Oh my gosh, Catherine, same. Same. Horrific. Like, there was, the oldest child was 18, the youngest was 18 months, okay? And most of them can't even speak. The 18-year-old couldn't even write their own first name, okay? Couldn't even write their own name. They've never been in school. They've never been like to the doctor outside of, apparently she did deliver in hospital, but after that, there's nothing. There were several children that they have discovered that have passed within that family. Like, there were children that are no longer here and are not part of the 16 that were found. Okay, so a lot of stuff coming up about children. A lot is going to be focused on SA of women and children. Okay, and I know that men are SA too sometimes, and I'm not discounting that, but a bulk of it is women and children. Okay, but I'm not discounting that there are also men that are impacted by that kind of thing as well. But this is the shit that we're gonna have to see. So be kind to yourself, ground, do whatever you can to maintain balance at this time. And if you get wobbly, that's okay. Feel it. You know, just kind of move into it, explore it, if you will. Okay, and try to gain a deeper understanding of why you're triggered. And some things don't need an explanation of why you're triggered. If you're triggered by something like those 16 children being found in squalor and on the verge of death, where two of them had to be life flighted, and are on in the ICU, like being deeply cared for in those kind of circumstances, and other ones like they're going to be split up. They're deemed feral children. They cannot speak. They speak with gestures and grunts and things like that. It's horrific. Okay, um, so it's not going to be pretty. And I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you, oh, all love and light. Like, no. Yes, send love and light. Yes, it is ugly. Yes, it is hideous. Look at it. This should not go on in our world. This has no place here. So we have to, again, take action to make these changes. All of these things, Empress in the reverse, all of these things are things that have been hidden, that have been, internalized for so many. And they're starting to surface because Gaia is shifting. The Empress in this deck, she's pregnant, right? Obviously, and she's got an Earth-like planet in her womb. So this isn't to say that we aren't birthing a new world into being. It's exactly the opposite. It's like, yeah, everything's upside down right now. Everything that has been in the shadows is coming to light right now. There are things surfacing that you may have never had any kind of inkling was happening in your world. For a lot of people, for the masses, that's exactly how it's going to be. They had no idea, completely oblivious. Um, that are going to have some real cognitive dissonance happening because of the sheer horror of the things that are surfacing, that are coming to light, that are actually true and have been going on for centuries, for millennia now. Okay, so in order for us to birth this new Earth paradigm into existence, we must address everything that's been going on in the shadows. We must bring it to light. We must see it, become consciously aware of it, so that we can put a stop to it. And that's part of this transformation process, is burning away all that does not belong and rebuilding, not from the ashes. This is the phoenix rising moment. Okay, we're burning the shit to ash, and we're re-emerging transformed, healthy, and whole from the ashes to go on and to create something that we can all benefit from. And if this is with regard to your own life, there may be shit that's coming down all around you, that's burning to ash all around you. It could be partnerships, friendships, family, jobs. It could be you need to relocate for whatever reason, okay? Um, Natural disasters, there's going to be a lot of those, some not so natural, like the earthquakes that were just that just took place near Cuba. That was There's no tectonic plates over there, and for the U.S. to have their largest battleships over there, um, and with the MK Ultra and this microwave technology that they're openly discussing in these forums and these court proceedings right now, it's all tied together, you guys. So they're directed energy weapons, and they're doing it, especially in Cuba right now, because we know Trump wants to take over Cuba. Our tears are watering the seeds for a better future. That's beautiful, Catherine. I love that. I'm gonna highlight your comment again. Um, my nose is all tickly right now. It's probably my hairs. My hair from my head is like breezing over and tickling my nose. Um, oh, sorry, guys. So again, all of this greed, all of this shit. Again, look, the fire. It's got a surface. It's transforming. But you also see in this card, it's the darkness and the light. You see, like it's the angel woman over here that is supposed to be the light and with the angel wings and stuff. And then you got this demonic or devil type figure over on the other side, and he's gripping her hips, right? He's gripping them thighs, like there she's a willing participant on this card, okay? And this is symbolism of that uh, darkness and light being balanced, coming together in a balanced way, because it's not that we're supposed to shun our shadows. If you know anything, if you've done shadow work, it's about really understanding your shadows, why they're there, what purpose they serve, and using them for positivity, for something that's going to benefit you and others, okay? So we need that darkness. I need that rage, that vengeful anger. I need that for when it's battle time, okay? Because like I've said since the very beginning when we first started with Feral Frequencies podcast, okay? We are warriors in a garden. We are not gardeners in a war. There is a big fucking difference. Your shadows, your shadow aspects, your traits that you, being the most judgmental of yourself, perhaps would deem to be, something that you don't want. And that's where we get into the whole spiritual bypassing with the love and lighters, and don't do any shadow work, don't work on yourself because you don't need that negativity in your life. Absolutely the fuck not. You need that shadow. You just need to know how to fucking train your own demons, how to keep your shadows on a leash and bring them out whenever you need them, because you're going to need them on your side at some point. You can't just live your life in this realm at this time, okay, without that vim and vigor, okay? Even in the 5D, say like with other extraterrestrial species like Pleiadians, Lyrans, or Lyrans, however you want to say it, with the Urma, with reptilians, because there's regressive reptilian species and there's positive reptilian species, okay? And if you know and have done any work with dragons or any fae, any quote unquote mythological thank you, Bronson. Warrior in a garden, baby. Yes, you are, Kara. I saw your zucchinis. I used to smoke joints with demons and ride them into battle when needed. Exactly, Bronson. Exactly. Same, bro. Same. um, so you need those. They're part of you. If you are denying your shadows, if you're just trying to run away from your shadows and never address them, you're denying parts of yourself. It doesn't make them go away. Even if you run from them, they don't go away. It's your fucking shadow. Peter Pan, okay? Like, you can't separate yourself from your shadow. Even though Peter Pan technically did, okay? He sewed it back on, okay? That's the thimble thing. Anyway, we're getting off into crazy shit. So yeah, you cannot be separated from your shadow. It follows you around. Have you ever gone outside and tried to run from your shadow? That bitch will be right on your ass, okay? Sometimes right in front of you too, depending on which direction that you're facing, either towards or away from the sun. Anyway, it's part of you. It's your prerogative, or not prerogative. It's up to you to harness that, to be in control of your shadow. Hello, Lance. Thank you from New Zealand. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Mike. How you doing, love? Um, so you're never going to get away from your shadow. It's up to you to tame it. It's up to you to put that bitch in a cage and bring her out for special occasions, or him. No judgment. Okay. So you're not going to escape your shadow. It's time to embrace it. It's time to work with it. And that's why you do the shadow work. That's why you work through your shadows, your fears, your negativity, or your downfalls, or whatever, however you would judge those to be in your own life. I know I'm a fucking firecracker, and I have no problem pulling that out of my back pocket. Okay, I have no problem. I have no problem with confrontation. Do I like it? Do I go looking for it? Absolutely not. But I also have no problem with it. I was born into confrontation, okay? When my mother was pregnant with me, she got her ass beat so badly by my father that she was in the hospital with spinal meningitis. Like, conflict is, I'm no stranger to conflict, okay? So, do I like it? No. Does it give me anxiety? Yes. Do I get adrenaline spikes that make my body shake like this? Absolutely. But am I going to back down from it? Hell fucking no. You will not catch me backing down from a conflict. Come to fill us your cup, have you? I love it. Can't can't eliminate the shadow without blocking the light. Yes, Steph. Thank you. I'm gonna highlight your comment too. I have gotten out of the practice of highlighting comments, so I'm gonna try to get back into it if I can remember to. Divine protection is born from the balance between the light and the darkness. Yes, ma'am. You're on fire today, Catherine. Maybe you should just come up here and do, and do the live instead of me. I've been stumbling all over my words. Craziness. So, um, I'm trying to figure out where I was because I kind of got off track there a little bit. Okay. So, we've got the Three of Swords here. You're going to be triggered, yes, but it's in order to heal. The Three of Swords is a card that's talking about being triggered, being in pain. Absolutely, yes, it is. But it's also a card of healing. The heart on this card, and not just this, in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck too, it's being stitched up, it's being mended, it's being healed. You cannot heal without confronting that which wounded you. You can't just deny its existence and try not to face it again and call yourself healed. We face our fears. That's how we overcome them. Doesn't mean we're not afraid. Doesn't mean we're not triggered. Doesn't mean we're not traumatized and in pain. You might have to mop me up off the fucking floor, but I'm going to confront my fucking fears. I'm going to confront my shadows. I am going to get to know them. I'm going to learn how to work with them. I'm going to learn how to harness that bitch, put it in its cage, and bring it out for special occasions. Okay? That's how you keep and maintain your balance. Ebb and flow, give and receive gracefully. The ebbing and flowing of life, just like the tides, just like our oceans, which Gaia is comprised of mostly oceans, just like our bodies, as above, so below, are also comprised of what? Mostly water, okay? Different forms, not always just H2O, plasma, all that, we get it. We don't need to go into those discussions. Steph, I know you're going to bring it up. Yes, ma'am. I love you. So the ebbing and the flowing of life. You could see certain parts or all of Mercury retrograde. For example, this is just one example. We've got so much going on astrologically, but everybody knows about Mercury retrograde, even people who aren't in the spiritual community, okay? So this is the example I'm going with. You can see it as an ebbing and a flowing. Like when Mercury is retrograde, it looks like it's going backwards from our point in the sky and its point in the sky, okay? You could see that as an ebbing about, things not like new opportunities and things like that not really coming in. And if they do, they fizzle out. But old ones or old ideas or old situations will come back around. So, in one aspect, yes, it could be that new opportunities and the nuance and new things are ebbing right now, which means it's going away from us. But then when it goes direct, those new opportunities start to flow in, those new situations, those new things start to flow in. But simultaneously, while the new things are ebbing during a Mercury retrograde, okay, we have the flow of things from the past, ideas from the past. Maybe you had an idea or you've had this kind of on the back burner and you haven't really brought it to the forefront yet, but you've had it since, some point in the past. It's been there, but you haven't really taken action on it. All of a sudden, the idea comes back around, and it's like there's new aspects to this idea or new workings that you can do to really get this to, be able to birth this new idea or this new creation into being. So you have that flowing in while the new stuff, the nuance is kind of ebbing right now. So it's just this equal exchange, okay? And with that, in your personal experience as well as in the collective one, I just heard the no new wars thing from, the taco in chief, that he ran on the no new wars thing, and then they're all saying, oh, well, this is old wars. Like, you could say that, but this has been something that's been ongoing behind the scenes for the most part, sometimes in the forefront, but they mostly try to kind of keep this in the shadows, right? It's all about that control. So you're seeing a lot more focus on that right now. You're I do not see, and it's really, really, really fucking difficult to see and to know about what's happening in Palestine. And yes, it is an active genocide, and yes, it is atrocious, and yet it brings me to tears daily. Absolutely. But even worse is places like the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's been ongoing for years and years, and nobody's fucking talking about it. You don't see it almost anywhere. It's a very, you know, let's keep this in the shadows type of thing. I would not be surprised if more comes to the forefront about Congo and what the Congolese have been dealing with, especially like with the Ebola, um, you know, that whole it was engineered, just like 2020 was engineered. The Ebola crisis is engineered to try to G-side those people because USAID was canceled. So the United States no longer sends foreign aid to people who really need it, who are under threat of ethnic cleansing because of the rare earth minerals and the oil and everything on their land, just like Venezuela and those earthquakes that were in an accident, okay? These are targeted places, and these energy weapons and HARP and everything is starting to come to the forefront. It's starting to really be talked about a lot more. You're a fantastic mentor, helped me tremendously in learning to harness my shadow for initiating positive change. I love you, Catherine. Thank you for that. That was so sweet. So we've got this huge, it's like the waves are thrashing right now. We've got ebbs and flows all over the fucking place right now, okay? And it's hard to keep our head above water sometimes. I'm right there with you. I get it. First and foremost, like it is impacting me. I had a chat with Steph just yesterday evening, talking about how these things are impacting me personally. And he is someone that I lean on for support. He's, a voice of reason. He's that grounding person that, he is one of my go-tos. He's one of my best friends, right? So um, use that. Use your support systems. Use your support people if you don't have a whole system in place. Whatever you can, to try to keep yourself grounded, to remind yourself that yes, there's not just all of this horrific shit going on. You also have these beautiful people with these beautiful hearts and intentions. Um, Thank you. I do not want to butcher your name, but I see you over on YouTube. Thank you for your comment, dear. I appreciate you. Um, so all of these things are surfacing because it's time for us to make some choices. It's time for us to make some decisions. Yes, there's confusion. Yes, there's crossroads. Meditate, just like I've been saying, like meditate. Go to your sacred space and have some quiet time. Meditate while you're going about your daily work, your chores, your whatever, those mundane activities, right? Because there is a death and a rebirth at hand right now. This is the death card, card number 13. It also symbolizes rebirth. They're intrinsically connected. You have endings and conclusions, and then you have new beginnings. And this is coming from the the triggers and the shadow work that we're doing both collectively and individually right now. You may have some endings in your life taking place right now. That's okay, I guess. We love him. He's so fun. Um, so from these traumas, these collective traumas, and even your individual traumas in your own life experience are being triggered right now so that they can be healed. They're being called forth for healing. And it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pleasant. You're probably going to, cry and bitch and scream the whole way. I know I will. I have. And I told Steph that, like, I know what to do. I know. But I'm still going to cry and I'm still going to, like, kick and scream and bitch and moan the whole entire way. That's just how I life shit. Okay, that's how I turn those lemonade or lemons into lemonade. Um, Might make me some Puerto Rican lemonade. Make it a little extra, because that's just how I do. I can't do anything just simple. I got to do it the hard way, and I got to make it count. Whether that's good or bad, it's just I have to add some flavor. Okay. So we're experiencing this right now. We're experiencing, distance within some relationships. I myself personally have been experiencing some distance within my own relationships for the last couple of years, but I have noticed it kind of ramping up in the last few months, um, which I'm grateful for those. I'm grateful for the purpose that they served. I'm grateful for those people, for knowing them, for learning the lessons that I learned from them, teaching the lessons that they've learned from me, all of it. Like those encounters added to me as a person and as a soul, whether they were traumatic or positive, it doesn't matter. They added some extra spice to my experience, and for that I am grateful. For the traumatic ones, I am grateful that they are no longer in my life. I'm so happy to say goodbye to them. you know. Um, so work towards healing yourself and building yourself up to a point where it gets easier, right? For you to release and let go of things from the past. Right now, perfect lesson review practice right now with Mercury retrograde, because it does bring the best opportunities to do so. Sometimes it has to come out like demonade. I love that, Catherine. Perfectly said. Exercise the demonade. Absolutely. So crossroads energy. If anyone knows, which I know my soul tribe that's been around with me for a few years now knows all about Dolores Cannon, Mama D, Grandma D, whatever you want to call her. But she talked about, and she's not the only one, but she was one of the first, okay, to talk about this split, the two Earths, right? The 3D and the 5D splitting and going, existing simultaneously in their own, you know, you're seeing that split right now. We've been seeing it. We've talked about this on here. We've been seeing the split, and you can see people that were kind of like hanging out in the middle, where you were kind of like, yeah, they'll shift their consciousness and raise their consciousness level, or they're teetering. I'm not so sure about that one. Now you're seeing it more pronounced in them. So you're seeing the decision that they've made, or the energy that they're more aligned with at this time. And I've seen it with people that I've been close to in the past, and they're not on the same side of history, her story, that I want to be on. Okay. And it's sad and it sucks, but I still love those people and I wish them the best on their journey. but I can see the path that they've chosen, right? And you can still see them kind of wobbly on that path, like wanting to go more towards a more awakened perspective, but they choose to continue down that path, and that's that's for them to decide. And it doesn't mean that they have to stay there now that they're over there, that these have to be completely separated, that they've chosen their path and they can never come back from that. That's absolutely not true, because while these two um, densities um, coexist, so to speak, okay, they can still always choose to raise their conscious awareness. And you'll see a lot of that happening as we continue to move deeper into this splitting of paradigms. You're going to see, some that are going down that path, and then all of a sudden something happens that shifts them out of that, awakens them, and they're like, oh no, that's not where I want to be. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to get on the good train. So you're still going to be seeing a lot of this right now. It's going to continue for a while longer, okay? Um, Personally, I would say the next year or two, but there's also a trajectory I'm seeing that can go, there's a couple. There's so like on up to 2030, and then 2033 being the other one. So it's still kind of in flux right now. It really just kind of depends on how things go and what we choose collectively to take place. Okay, but with these endings, you're gonna need to go within. You're gonna need to, not just us, everyone impacted by this, right? You're gonna want to go within. You're gonna want to kind of shut out the external stimuli and really balance yourself. Take that time to take care of yourself. Self care is a must, absolutely. Okay. The hermit goes to the top of the mountain with his little lantern, usually a man on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. In this one, she's a female, okay? But it's talking about going on that, um, now the word's escaping me, where people go pilgrimage, on a pilgrimage. Thank you, Mimi, for your subscription. I appreciate you. So going on this pilgrimage to really see the light within, right? That's what the hermit is all about. And then coming down off the mountain, having gained this deeper wisdom, this deeper understanding. So give yourself time to really digest these things that are happening in your life right now, to really process the things that are happening. Make sure that you're keeping tight reins on yourself, so you're not the one projecting, but expect that people are going to be projecting like a motherfucker right now. You guys, it's all over. It's everywhere. Like in the news, public figures, political figures, people in our own lives. People are really, because everyone's being triggered right now in their own ways for their own reasons. They're those who have not mastered the art of mastering themselves are going to be projecting onto others. That's just how it goes. Oh, thank you, Moon Angel Mimi. I appreciate you. Yes, this is a collective reading. It is for the collective energy, and then I will also relate it to like personal examples, like for your personal experience, I can give you examples of how it may look in your personal life. So yes, it is collective and how the collective might experience it, but I also try to translate to where how it may affect you in your own personal experience. So it's kind of a both. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Hi, Alexis. Thank you. Yes, it's a tapestry. This is a tapestry. I've had it for years, but I don't know. I like it. It's whimsical. um, so yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. And if you guys hear me addressing comments and you're not seeing those comments over there on YouTube, it's because I stream to Facebook and to YouTube at the same time. So I will try to highlight comments. I'm trying to get back into the habit of highlighting people's comments on the screen so that wherever you're watching from, you can actually see that yes, I'm not schizo. I'm not talking to myself, which nothing against people who are schizophrenic. I just personally am not. But yeah. So stick around, see what resonates for you, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you. So watch out for that projection. That's unconscious denial of your own behavior onto another or your own experiences onto another person. So people are going to be projecting left and right. You're just gonna see it. It's surfacing. It's a sickness. It's an imbalance within the collective. And as Gaia is shifting with these higher frequencies, with these light codes, that is no longer going to be able to exist here. But you're going to see it's a purging, right? My heart's really broken. Hopefully, I could take something from this reading. I'm sorry to hear that, Moon Angel, Mimi. Sending you so much love. And if you do have a Facebook, if you're interested, you can join our community over there. My Facebook page is Rebel Spirit over on Facebook, and then we have a Facebook group called Rebel Spirits, plural, Rising. So Rebel Spirits Rising. If you would like to join that as well, we have a beautiful, supportive little community over there on Facebook. So you're more than welcome to join us. So yes, anticipate people are going to be projecting their own fears, their own feelings, whatever those feelings may be, onto others around them, and you may be caught in the crosshairs. If that happens, so if this is somebody close to you, you're going to want to assess, are they serving a positive purpose in my life, or are they just, impacting me more so in a negative way, triggering me in a negative way? Is this something, an energy, a person, a situation that I want to keep around in my life, or is this something that I've learned my lesson, because lessons is right next to projection. I've learned my lesson and now I can move on. Understand the lesson in this situation, shift perspective, and karma. Karma is cause and effect. Karma is the effect after the cause, right? It's that rebalancing. It's if you put something in this side of the scale, this one's going to go down, this one's going to go up. That's just, that's just how it works. That's one of the laws that we operate under right now. You're so welcome, sweetheart. So if you have a specific person projecting onto you in your experience, that's an opportunity for you to recognize, hey, does this person really belong in my life? Are they serving a positive purpose for me, or are they just kind of keeping me in my lower frequencies? Or are they serving a purpose to be a lesson, to come and trigger me in such a way where they're doing this so that I can heal? And do I want to keep them around or not? You're really going to have to figure out if you want to keep them around or not. Okay, Mercury retrogrades offer us these opportunities to weed out our garden, so do so accordingly. Or have they tapped you like a Capri Sun? Girl, yes. Are they being an energy vampire ass motherfucker? Are they tapping into you like a Capri Sun? I love that, Catherine. That is so perfect. I'm going to have to use that if I can remember. That was a good one. um, so yeah, are they just tapping you like a Capri Sun? Are they keeping you around so that they can siphon your energy, so that they can get a reaction out of you? Use your discernment right now. We talk about discernment all the time. Discernment is key. You are given discernment just as much as you're given these spiritual gifts and this feeling heart to feel extra, more so than anyone else around you probably. You're given your discernment for a reason, okay? It is a spiritual gift, just like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, all of the clairs, okay? All of them. So use your discernment, okay? You are an intelligent being, and it's up to you to remove the wool from your eyes. I've been there, done that, okay? My ex had the wool over my eyes for so many years, and I've told you guys before, like, I would see him saying something to someone, telling a story that wasn't true, or doing something to someone, or behind their back, or whatever, and my higher self would be like, hey, watch this. Just observe. Do you see what's happening right now? Just observe, take note, keep that in your back pocket because you're going to need it later on. So it wasn't until I decided to really open my eyes to the kind of person that was before I left. And it took all of 7 years, okay? So absolutely no judgment. because I've been there, done that. You cannot remove the wool from your eyes until you're ready to remove the wool from over your eyes. That's just how it works. Everyone's on their own path, and it's not up to us to judge another person by what they choose, okay? So learn the lesson and move forward, however that looks for you. We have the Queen of Cups showing up in the reverse. This is talking about, being in your emotions. This could be being what people would deem overly emotional. You are never overly emotional unless you're using that, wielding it as a power over others, in which case, yes, you're manipulative and being overly emotional for your own agenda. But otherwise, if you are just feeling powerful emotions, if you've always been a very one of those people that just feels everything very powerfully, just no matter what, then you're not too much. You're not overly emotional. You were gifted this ability to feel things deeply, so you're going to want to really work on that discernment, okay? Because otherwise it's going to be a hindrance. We got the thorn card showing up right here. It's going to hurt. It's going to poke you. It's going to be a tangled mess. So it's time to untangle those emotions. If you are highly emotional, look at who you surround yourself with, or the media that you consume, or the foods that you consume. Really pay attention to your body and how your body feels around certain people or when you ingest certain things, whether that's food, beverages, substances, anything like that, okay? Pay attention to how you're feeling. Use that discernment. Sharpen your discernment. Get to a place where you know and you believe that no is a complete sentence, where you know what you are worthy and deserving of, and you will accept no less than that. So if they're not going to meet you where you are, then fucking weed them out your garden, because you don't need that shit. You don't need them to drag you down, because whenever they're dragging you down with your mood, your emotions, your life circumstances, that opens you up to anything that's on that bandwidth of frequency. So if that's not a bandwidth of frequency that you want to experience, then it's time to cut them out and let them go. Do your spiritual hygiene, cut the cords as many times as you need to for it to feel fully done. Do what you got to do to remove that energy from your life, because just removing a person from your life is not always all that's needed. You will also have to remove their energy from your life by cutting cords, by cleansing your shit, by whenever I sever friendships or relationships in general, I will get rid of everything that person gave me, that they left at my house, or whatever the situation is. I'm going to go ahead and remove that energy fully. And if it's something that I don't want to get rid of, like maybe a big piece of furniture, I don't know, then I will cleanse that. I will do it multiple times until it feels done to me, until it feels clean and cleansed. I'm highly emotional. I'm very sensitive, hypersensitive. Yeah, this hits home. Yeah, there's so many of it. Like if you are aligned to viewing this live, if you are resonating with anything in this live, then chances are you are a very gifted and highly emotional, empathic being. So that's no surprise, but you are absolutely welcomed into the fold. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us. So we're here for you, girl. We support you, sending you love and support from here. Um, so whatever is triggering you, whoever is triggering you, really take a, the time to assess whether or not you want to choose to keep them in your life moving forward and continue that energy in your life. Because again, if you're accepting that energy into your life, you're also accepting whatever is on that bandwidth of possibilities of things manifesting for you in your life. So do what you need to do to remove that. We've got the Seven of Swords right next to that Queen of Cups reversed, and it's also in the reverse. This is the shady shit that they've been doing, no matter who the they is for you, okay, whether that's the government, personal relationships, work relationships, online relationships, what have you, okay? Whatever has been done behind the scenes in the shadows is coming to the light. even if they continue to operate that way, it's going to be done right in front of you, or they're going to slip and say something right in front of you. Like, it's obnoxious for the collective, like with regard to the governments of the world right now that have been doing shady shit and are still doing shady shit, and it's coming to the light and people are calling it, and they're still doing it, and then they're shocked that people are noticing, because the veil is gone. You've heard me say it a couple years ago. I've been saying it for the last couple of years. The veil is gone. It's not just thinning, it's completely gone. But people to become consciously aware, oh, it's gone. I can see all of this shit for what it is, or I can see these other beings, these other, thought forms or entities or whatever. It's gone, okay? It's been gone. But time, physical, tangible reality takes some time to catch up. So there are people who had seen the veil fitting and seen that it was gone from like the get-go, and then you have the other people that are just now taking notice because they weren't really tapped that into what's been going on around them. And no judgment, everything's okay. All of that is okay. We're all on our own timelines. We are all on our own paths to awakening or not. There are people that are here not to be on a path of awakening, that are only meant to serve the purpose to awaken you with their existence, with their deeds and their actions, with their words, okay? So not everyone is on a path to awakening or becoming conscious and moving into the new earth. A lot of them are there just to serve as signposts, like, look how far you've come, and now you've bypassed, you're not dealing with this kind of energy or this kind of person in your life anymore. So discernment. I cannot hammer it home enough. What do you need to release on the bottom of the deck over here with the moon? Yeah, moonology. Took me a second, you guys. When I'm in the channel, my left brain turns off, and labels, words, names, things like that escape me. So I'm sorry. It's just how I operate my psychic gifts. This is the waning moon. What do you need to release? Okay, what is highlighted for you at this time that you're feeling some type of way about? You're feeling, you're in your emotions, whatever emotions those may be right now. You're being triggered in some way, whether that's anger, sadness, trauma, grief, whatever. Okay, happiness even. Happiness can be triggered. Okay, happiness can come around in a Mercury retrograde. All kinds of things that make you happy. It just depends on where you are on your journey right now. So what is it that you need to let go of? Is it the expectation that others are going to meet you where you're at because you meet others where they're at? Or is it the expectation that the do unto others thing, everyone abides by that because they don't? Okay. If you're expecting other people to treat you the way that you treat others, when you're being mindful of treating others the way that you want to be treated, and you're not receiving that in return, what do you need to release? Is that a you thing? Is that a them thing? Okay, because it could go either way, and I'm not going to give you the answer. That's something you're going to need to ponder on. What do you need to release? Do you need to release expectation, or do you need to release these people that are not meeting you at your own value and worth? You're worthy of so much more. They're not meeting you there. They're giving you breadcrumbs. They're giving you the shit end of the stick. Is it your expectations that need to change and be lowered, or is it them that needs to change and be removed? I need to change my way of thinking, as in I have to change how I want to react to a situation. It's really hard, but I'm working on it. And that's all you can do, is work on it. And the more you work at it, the better you're going to get at it, We can't change others. We can change us. We can change how we operate, how we move, how we function. We can change what we're willing to tolerate and what we're no longer willing to tolerate. But we cannot change another person. So if you see someone who is triggering you right now, or a situation that's triggering you right now, and there's nothing you can do to change the situation or the people in it, then what you can do is change your own path, your own trajectory, and you can remove yourself from the situation or remove yourself from the relationship. Whatever is going to be in your highest good, whatever resonates and aligns for you at the time, is the decision that you're going to want to make. Don't let your past hold you back. And that's right behind that. What do you need to release? With the South Node, The south node is what you've already learned and mastered and what you're walking away from. Your north node is, your potential, where you're meant to shoot for, that trajectory you're meant to reach for in this lifetime. So what do you need to let go of from the past that is holding you back? Hello, Carl. Thank you for joining us, love. So again, this whole it just kind of, it ties into everything, especially with we've been talking about Mercury retrograde, because we're in full swing Mercury retrograde in Cancer. It's going to impact everything that you hold dear, everything that makes you feel safe, everything that feels like home, everything that contributes to your security, or the people that help you to feel secure, or the people and places that you call home. Don't let pride get in your way with the full moon in Leo, also right behind that. And this could go either way. This could be, I'm too prideful to let go of these people that have been in my life because they've been in my life. I've known them for years and years, so I'm not going to let go of them, because what would they think of me? Because I've found this new inner standing, and I have found my own path and purpose, and I'm the one that's been doing the changing, so I can't, because I've known them for so long, I can't leave them in the past, because what would they think? It's not, that's not the part you need to worry about. You need to worry about you, what's for your highest good. We learn to take a moment to process, so we respond to the stimulus instead of reacting with outdated information. Exactly. It's that responding to the energy instead of that knee-jerk reaction, that default reaction. Beautifully said, Catherine. Thank you so much. So what can I let go of to where I'm not triggered into reacting in this way with that knee-jerk reaction? We do have to change, Carl. We definitely do. Oh, as you said that, another bottom of the deck card is going to talk all day, so I'm going to have to stop at some point. But expect powerful change with the new moon eclipse, and we do have eclipse season approaching. Okay, just going to throw that one out there. Expect powerful change. Expect powerful change only if you're willing to make adjustments and make changes, make decisions for yourself, okay? Because change isn't just going to come if you're sitting on your ass doing nothing, not interacting with people because you don't want to be triggered, you don't want to be, you don't want to play the games, yada, yada, whatever. Nothing's going to change unless you actually affect that change, unless you put the effort into changing something. So you can wish and hope and dream and visualize all day about winning the lottery. And if you never buy a ticket, you're not going to win. You're not going to have the opportunity to win unless you actually take some kind of action. So you have to take that action in order to reap the benefits of the change, because if you're not taking the action to actually change anything, nothing's going to change. It's not going to change all around you while you're sitting there on your ass doing nothing but visualizing and loving and lighting it until it does. We're not there yet. I'm not saying that that's impossible, because yes, it is impossible in other realms, in other frequencies. Yes, it is possible to just dream it and it pop into your awareness, into existence right before your very eyes. So I'm thinking about a cheeseburger, hold my hand, there's a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? But we're not there yet. Not to say that we're not going to get there, because that is, where we're headed to eventually, but that's not how it is right now. So you have to take some kind of action. Take the inspired action. Yes, inspired action. That means, gotta wet my whistle because my throat's drying out. That inspired action is when you get that intuitive nudge, or whenever that opportunity shows up and your whole body is in a fuck yes state instead of a I don't know, or a fuck no state. That's inspired action. It's not taking every possible action you can to try to get yourself to go in that direction, to try to get to that ultimate outcome that is the energy of lack. It's throwing everything, just see what's going to stick. That's not the way we want to go about this. The way we want to go about it is taking that inspired action. So whenever you get the intuitive cue, this is your cue, time to take that action, do it. Whenever it feels like a full body fuck yes, then do it. If it's like that, I'm not sure, or that's probably not a good idea, or fuck no, then absolutely don't take that action, right? But you're headed towards this treasure trove of blessings. We got the crow right here with the trove of all the shiny things, all of the beautiful things. You've been collecting bits of information. You've been collecting bits of wisdom along the way. You've been looking for the glimmers of hope instead of constantly looking for that trigger. Instead of constantly looking for the other shoe to drop, you're open to the glimmers. You see them, you collect them. Like me, like, oh my gosh, you guys, the fastest person, not just woman, but she beat the men's records too. Fastest solo row from California to Hawaii, okay, with Euro Kelsey. I don't know if anyone else was following it. I was. Euro Kelsey is her handle on um, TikTok, TikTok, Instagram, and I think Facebook too. But she's a fucking badass. 44 days, y'all. You number 44, angelic number, okay? It took her 44 days to row from California to Hawaii solo on a fucking rowboat, okay, with 4 hours of sleep a night and having to do everything on the boat, okay? Um, she broke records, not just the women's record, but she broke the men's record too. Things like that. Like she made history. There are so many good things, like with the World Cup being hosted in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. All of the wonderful things. Yes, there were some shitty things that came about too, because humans are going to human. But there were so many good things that happened. So many, people sharing culture and celebrating one another and celebrating together and supporting each other's teams to win, even if their team is also playing. It's like it wasn't this us against them, like battle the whole time. Some of it was. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna. Okay. Some people were still people in, but there was an overwhelming majority of just happiness and coexisting and sharing cultures, and it was a beautiful thing to see. So keep looking for those glimmers, keep catching them. Capture that fucking glimmer and put it up on your little shelf in your curio or whatever you need to do to hold on to it, to be able to remind yourself of that, to be able to see the good where there's so much negativity right now. Okay. We have slumber, and with this card, when it came out, I was like, slumber, like, what does that mean? This is talking about dormant energy, and I did talk about the dormant volcanoes that are starting to awaken right now. There are dormant energies, very ancient energies within Gaia that are going to be surfacing as well. Like I said, with the sun and Gaia working in a symbiotic relationship, the sun is having those solar flares and geomagnetic storms and all kind of crazy shit, coming towards Gaia. Gaia is responding. Gaia is erupting with her volcanoes. Her tectonic plates are shifting. She is awakening in different ways. There's energy within Gaia that is being released right now. It's like a slow, methodical release that's building up. It's getting more and more intense, and we're having stronger bouts of this. So these ancient codes that have been dormant within Gaia for so long are starting to awaken because consciousness is shifting. We have a symbiotic relationship with Gaia as well. We are her children. So the consciousness um, rising within us is also causing Gaia to respond. And yes, there are cataclysms and difficult things, but she's releasing this intense energy that's been, condensed within her for so long. And it's also contributing to the sun because, they're working together, and it's helping us. We're releasing a lot more of this ugliness, of all of this pressure, right? But we're also releasing good things from within that have been lying dormant. There's going to be ancient codes. Our pyramids are online now, you guys. Did you guys know this? Our pyramids have all linked up together and have come online. This is a thing. This is happening. So all of this ancient technology, like with the Buga sphere, there are other spheres that are just like the Buga sphere that have been, surfacing, making themselves known. People have had them for like several years, or there's new ones that are coming in and people are just acquiring them now. So we have all these ancient technologies awakening. This is a huge shift, a huge awakening, and it's not just collective consciousness that is awakening. It's a mass awakening. It's on a massive scale. So it's just how All of the planetary alignments always translate to what's going on here from our perspective where we can see them in the sky. It's the same thing. We're all interconnected, all of it, everything. There's a star across the fucking universe that responds when you wink or when you smile, when you experience joy, when you experience, sadness. It's also mirroring you in its own way, okay? This is a symbiotic universe. So there's a lot. Everything is impacted across the board. There is no escaping it, okay? So buckle up, Buttercup. Ground yourself. Go out and do some earthing, do some grounding, get to the water. I've been taking the kids to the river to just, swim in the water. They love it. Very cleansing, very beautiful, very peaceful. So do whatever you can. Get out in nature if you can, to really try to maintain your balance because everything around us is shifting, changing, crumbling, being rebuilt. Like it's all happening. The fruit of knowledge. And this card actually comes right underneath a new start is coming with the new moon energy. So a new start is coming because of all of this knowledge we've acquired. And it's like the universe is contained within the flesh of this apple. You see that? Like, I love that card. It's so pretty. But again, that's just kind of driving home the fact that everything is interconnected. The apple and the cosmos, like there is no real difference. It's all connected. But a new start is coming. We're taking the fruits, the knowledge that we've acquired over millennia now, being stuck in this patriarchal fucking false paradigm, okay? We're taking everything that we've learned, we're taking all of that history that's rhymed and repeated, okay? And we're choosing to do something different. We're choosing to awaken our consciousness, to raise our consciousness to the point where we don't experience this ugliness, this control. That's all it is. Patriarchy is a control system. It feeds and thrives off of fear, off of grief, off of sadness, off of all of the uncomfortable, lower frequency emotions, okay? So that's not to say we're not going to experience that anymore, because like I said, other extraterrestrial races, they have warriors, they have conflicts, they have, the shit that they deal with too. Not on the level that we do here on Earth, mind you, but they still have their own shit. It's just a higher frequency. It's the next one up, okay? So fifth density is going to be so vastly different from this one, but it does not negate the fact that there will still be some shadow. There will be some conflict. There will be, similar things that exist in our current Earth cycle, but just a tier above, okay? So we're taking what we've learned so that we no longer repeat the past. We're moving into a flow state, and we just talked with the ebb and flow card over here, the ebbing and the flowing, right? With this new knowledge, other things are going to flow in, where technology is going to advance so far beyond what you can even imagine right now, and it's going to do so within our lifetime, because they've had us in a cage with regard to technology. Look at what they've done to people like Tesla, like all of these other no name and named inventors in our recent history, that have been taken out because of their advanced technology, okay? There's no longer going to be that cage or that cap on it. We are going to be able to finally express ourselves and explore what consciousness can do, what knowledge and what doing things from a place of integrity can actually do for us as a human species. We're going to be reaching for those fucking stars, baby. We got the reach card, okay? We're growing, we're expanding, we're reaching for that sky, reaching for that sun, reaching for that light, enlightenment. Knowledge is power. It's all the same, okay? Your dreams need a practical plan with that full moon in Taurus. Again, like I said, we're going to have to take practical steps, practical actions, real tangible action to impact things to the degree where we can actually affect change, okay? So right now we're still in these planning stages. We're implementing actions, albeit small actions, from the larger picture perspective, but we are implementing those where people are starting to awaken, where people were rigid and, really set in their own beliefs, and their own ways of existing. Now they're starting of, people that they agreed with or situations that they agreed with, they're seeing real impacts, real effects from that that are actually impacting them differently. So, again, yes, we see all of this division, all of this hatred, all of this ugliness coming up, but it's surfacing so that those people that were so set in stone, dead set on their one set of beliefs and actions and purpose and whatever, and everyone else is wrong outside of that. Now they're starting to expand their understanding, they're expanding their awareness, they're expanding their consciousness too. So, there's a lot of people that were projecting. You might have people that used to make you miserable, that used to project onto you, that used to, like, cause you to have a really bad time in your life. And maybe they'll come back around Mercury retrograde, and this time they'll actually have done some work. But that's where that discernment comes in. That's where you pay attention to how your body feels when you interact with these people. Have they really changed, or are they wearing that mask just because Mercury's retrograde, and then after Mercury goes direct, I'm going to see the mask fall off and it's going to be the same exact shit show, just decorated like a fucking rose? Like, use your discernment, but do keep in mind that if people come back around this Mercury retrograde, they might have in fact changed by now because the energy is so different. Okay, because collectively our frequency has shifted into a higher state. Those who cannot hang in that higher frequency are going to be showing their ass right now in the lower frequencies. So, it's going to be easier to discern who is for you and who is not for you, or who is just there to tap you like a Capri Sun, like Catherine said. So always, always, always use your discernment. Rely on that intuition. Pay attention to how your body feels. And if you can't really tap into the way your body is feeling around a specific person, do the little whatchamacallit test, okay? Like when you're in the grocery store and you're like, which one do I choose? And wherever you're like, if your body moves forward to it, that means it's for you. If it moves away, it means no. Do that with people. I can't think of the name for it, the label that goes on that. But you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I'm talking about. Do that. But discernment is going to become a lot easier because, like I've said for years, the masks are falling off. These people, these gurus that used to look like pristine and perfect and like the highest in their profession or in their whatever avenue that they've taken, the knowledgeable ones, you're going to see a lot of those being revealed as fakes and liars, and then you're going to see true ones emerge. You're going to see people come into more of the spotlight that are tried and true, that are of integrity, that have done it the right way, that are not in it just for the money and who they can step all over to get where they're going. So just like there was Steph and I were talking about it because he heard about it somehow. There was this TikTok creator that was a tarot reader that had like hundreds of thousands or like maybe a million followers or something like that. I don't know, because I never followed her. Funny enough, I don't follow tarot readers. I really don't. So sometimes like on YouTube I will, but I haven't even done that in like a year. I haven't been like, I just don't care to watch anyone else's work. And it's not because I don't like them. It's just, I have my own gifts. I don't need that. So anyway, she was a tarot reader on TikTok, very, very established, good following. And she's all of a sudden started deleting all of her previous videos and stopped taking appointments, even though she got saved a year ago. Until this point, she's been doing tarot reading sessions. She's been posting these videos and getting followers off of that, and now all of a sudden she's like, I can't do it, it's evil, I'm not doing the tarot anymore, and I'm deleting all of my tarot videos, and like she got unfollowed by tons of people. But I had this conversation where I'm like, yeah, there are certain creators who are major in the spotlight, have a huge following, that are being paid to flip on their head on their own business and say, oh, now I'm an evangelist. Now, Jesus saved me and it's heaven or hell, baby. And even though I've been a Christian for the last year and doing readings and taking people's money and giving them guidance, now all of a sudden I'm denouncing that, and that's evil. Like, there are people that are actually getting paid to do that. They get brand deals from other places, and here, change to making this content and make the masses think that this is evil. As many people as you can convince that this is evil, do it, so that we can kind of get this agenda going, aligned with the state that isn't real type shit. Okay, if you follow me. So not just that, there are other, I don't want to say specialists, but that's not, like, in their field. They're specialists in their field. They're well known in their field for doing research and talking about certain things. Like, even in the extraterrestrial community, okay, um, you're gonna see a lot of these people really get deplatformed, or the truth come out about them, and it turns out that it's all smoke and mirrors and bullshit. So, um, is gone. People are seeing things for what they truly are, and just prepare yourself for it, because it's not always going to be pleasant. It's not always going to be pretty. Um, but stay true to yourself, walk your path, stay aligned with who you truly are, your higher self, and you can't go wrong. So thank you guys for being here. My voice is cracking. It's trying to go out now. I think that's enough of me talking for now. I love you guys. I appreciate you for sticking around, for always supporting me, and for loving me. But yeah, we'll be here next week, same time, same place that you're watching from. So it'll be 4 p.m. Eastern. It's 2 p.m. Mountain Time, my time. Uh, and then what is it, 3 p.m. Pacific on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you saw me. So thank you, Holly. I love you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Bronson. I appreciate you guys. Love you. My voice is really trying to go out, so I'm going to get off of here. But I will see you guys next